Come with me on a 3-day adventure as we hike through some of the most pristine country in Australia. We uncover ancient tropical rainforests with trees that reach for the skies, beautiful sandblows such as this, and don't forget the wildlife. Strap in guys, this is one of my best hikes to date. I hope you enjoy. How are you legends? I am back and we are on a very special adventure this week, and it's a place that's very close to my heart, a place that I've actually been coming to every year just about since I was born, and it is a place that needs no introduction, but I am on the beautiful World Heritage listed Gari, formerly known as Fraser Island, and tonight and tomorrow night we're going to be camping out here, exploring some of the heart and soul of this island and really digging deep into a bit of the culture and trying to figure out what it's all about and what this place has really meant to Australians throughout history. Now, as I mentioned, we got 2 nights. First night we're going to be deep in one of the most impressive rainforests in the world for a number of reasons. And then the second night we're looking for a lake, so we're going to be out in the dunes, nice and open. Hopefully if this weather stays, we might get some stars out. Either way, it's going to be an absolute adventure. Stick around, let's get stuck in. So Gari is obviously famous for a few main reasons. Number one being that it has the title of the largest sand island on the planet. So this entire island, there's no topsoil. Everything is sand. So it's incredible to see what can actually grow out of the sand here, and it's one of the only places in the world where that actually occurs. The second reason why this place is famous, and probably especially with the international crowd, is the Gari dingo. And it's actually the most purebred dingo in Australia. Obviously on the mainland there's other sorts of wild dogs that have interbreeded with the dingoes, but here on Gari it is just straight purebred. So yeah, the most iconic dingoes you can ever see are right here. Now I've actually, in the minimal time I've been on the island today, already seen a couple of dingoes. I'll throw up a shot I just got on the way in of one crossing the path as I was about to park the car. Very cool animals. Now the third reason, and maybe not so commonly known as the third reason, but definitely in the hiking community, is the Gari Great Walk. So we're blessed to have a pretty incredible walk on this island, which is, if you do the full thing, it's about a 5-night expedition with various sort of bush camps along the way. You see a lot of the best of the island, a lot of these perched inland lakes, giant rainforests as I've mentioned, and some pretty epic sand blows as well. So pretty cool to be able to come and hike for that long. Unfortunately, I only have about 2 nights, 3 days available. So I'm actually just punching in from the coast and linking up with the trail about halfway through. And I'm just going to do 2 nights of the trail and then punch back out. So it's good to know that you can do it in stages if you have a bit less time. But anyway, let's keep trekking. I've just noticed a few dingo prints here. They don't look too fresh, but yeah, always got to stay vigilant out here. While they may look cute, actually quite aggressive animals. I actually just heard a yarn recently of a fisherman who was having a fish off the beach. He was in about shin deep water, and all of a sudden he felt something gnawing on the back of his calf, turned around and it was a dingo having a go at him. So yeah, you just got to keep your wits about you a little bit out here. Actually brought a hiking pole. I don't really hike with poles, but for this trip I just chucked one in, mostly as a bit of a dingo deterrent. And yeah, it pays to sort of keep a knife on you just in case. Hopefully we don't get that close though. guys, that is an absolute monster. Now the place that we're actually camping tonight is literally called the Valley of Giants, and yeah, it's pretty easy to see why. This part of Gari has some of the oldest and tallest trees in the whole country, and as I already mentioned, remarkably it grows out of sand, so it's a true wonder of the world. The Valley of Giants area has a few of these monsters. This is just the first one I've laid eyes on. And yeah, I've got to say it's pretty impressive. I think there's a couple that are even bigger. So we're going to do a bit more hunting around, see what we can find. But yeah, it's one of the main benefits of getting off the four-wheel drive and off the beaten path and actually exploring this island on foot. Not many people can access these things. And yeah, it's good to get away from the ruckus and lay eyes on some absolute monsters. Let's keep it moving. Yeah, unfortunately this part of the rainforest was actually logged nearly to death about 150 years ago. Thankfully a few of the giants remain, and it's good to see some of these sort of new ones starting to reach up and reach some of those ancient heights as well. Look at the size of these things. This is such an epic hike. The size of this thing. Whoa. Just everywhere, these monsters. Look at this one. Oh my god. Incredible. Oh, I'm very lucky to be here right now, that's for sure. Look at this one, fallen beast. Look at the size of this base. Fit about 10 of me in here. Wow. You got to be careful in Gari as well. There's also a huge amount of funnel web spiders, which are one of the most venomous spiders in the world too. So just be careful where we're standing and touching. Obviously funnel webs are pretty identifiable. This is off tap, hey? I feel like I'm in a video game. Even if that was a tree, it'd be a monster, and that's just a little side limb. Imagine being in this forest, hearing one of these things come down. I'm sure in that recent cyclone there would have been a bit of action in here. Probably not the place you'd want to be. I don't know if we can get through there. Might go back. Thankfully the park service do a good job of keeping the paths clear. You've got to be kidding me. Let's go have a look at this one. If only you could tell stories. Wonder if she'd be singing or if she'd be crying. Oh, that is insane. You could get easily a whole human in there. I wonder how hollow that is the whole way up. Man. Oh, little back door. Look at that. Definitely some animals would be using that, I think, going in and out. I don't know how that giant limb is even hanging on. Like, yeah, it's probably a matter of time till that thing comes down, but might not be the wisest place to stand thinking of it now. Let's keep moving. So we just sort of seem to be on a bit of a ridge line at the moment. I think we're probably 2-3 k's from where I'm planning to camp tonight. So yeah, I think the plan will be to just get there, get everything set up, drop the pack, and then yeah, we might head out again and see if we can find some more monsters. Alright guys, so I've just had a bit of a disaster just walking along, and yeah, this thing's meant to have 3 legs. So this leg has just come clean off. All the glue's pretty done and this is bent. Hopefully I can salvage this because yeah, this could be a pretty crucial breakage otherwise. Don't snap, don't snap. Oh. I don't have any glue on me either, which is a bummer. Just the camera. Okay, I don't think that's very solid. So I'm gonna have to be quite careful with this thing from now on, which isn't ideal. Obviously, about 2 hours into a 3-day hike, but what can you do, eh? We'll try our best to manage. Yeah, not ideal. I've done that little repair job. Fingers crossed it holds out. I'll go super easy on it. Yeah, I've got a bit of duct tape I think in the pack, but glue isn't really something I thought I would ever need on a hike, so we'll make do. Maybe there's some form of like tree sap you could use. I need to have a bit of better bush knowledge out here. But you live on, don't you? Not the end of the world. Either way, we're still out here. Come on. This place is just out of control. Should we try and climb this? This absolute unit. I think the 2 main species of giant trees out here are the tallow wood and the satine. So I'm not 100% sure of the difference between the two, but I dare say that these would be either of those species. What's going on with this thing? Alright guys, well we're nearly at first camp for the night. Valley of the Giants campground, so yeah, let's punch out this last couple hundred and have a little bit of a well-earned break. It's been about 8 k's so far I think, so pretty solid. Nice easy flat going most of the way, so not too difficult. Tomorrow we'll be doing a few more k's, so we'll probably get into it pretty early tomorrow, but yeah, excited to check out this campsite. Alright, here we go guys, we've made it, and so far from what I can tell, looks like we might have the joint to ourselves, which is cool. You never know, some other hikers might roll in later, but at least we'll have the pick of the spots, eh? Alright guys, we have done it, and yeah, we are the only ones here, which is awesome, so definitely got our pick of the spots. I think probably just get this one up here up the back, it's nice and high, a little bit of light hitting it. But yeah, I'll give you a look at these campsites. There's some interesting little features, but we'll drop the pack off and take the load off the shoulders, eh? Little double spot, so plenty of room to move. Little platform. Now this is a box that you're supposed to keep your food in. Dingo safe storage locker. So yeah, obviously they can be a slight little bit of a pest around here and trying to get into your tucker at night. So probably smart to chuck your whole pack in there really. And that way you know it's safe, but definitely want to have the tent zipped up. Don't want any of those little critters coming to join us tonight. And probably keep the shank on us as well, just in case. How good's this, man? I know they usually say to try not to camp under big trees, but we're gonna have to take the chance tonight because unfortunately we are surrounded. All right, let's get this pack off. Oh man. Well, just had a few neighbours pull up, so lucky I dragged the best spot. Anyway, brought a couple of little treats with me on this trip, and I'm going to drink one now purely because it's still a little bit cold and the rest of them are going to be severely hot, so may as well enjoy this and reward myself after that little trip. Little Bombay Saf gin and tonic. It's actually double strength, so 2 standards in this little thing. I better be careful. Cheers, y'all. Oh yeah. It's got a bit of kick. Just had a bit of a yarn to the neighbours, a couple of legends, Troy and Michael. One's from Newey, one's from Townsville, so they kind of met in the middle. They're doing the full walk. This is like their 3rd or 4th day. I think they said I'm the first hiker they've seen, so pretty good time of year to be doing this, pretty quiet. I must be a bit unlucky running into people first night, but good signs for tomorrow hopefully. They said it's been a good walk, haven't seen too much wildlife, no dingoes have troubled them. They've had a bit of rain each night. They said about 7 PM each night, that's when the rain comes in, so have your gear ready to go. But yeah, they've said it's been a ripper so far, so it'll be good to follow their trails tomorrow. These mozzies are pretty gnarly. Bit of bush deodorant, should sort them out. Alright, let's get this tent set up, eh? I was going to set it up on this side, but I've noticed this, which is a big ant's nest, so always check your sights before you set up, guys. This side will be a little bit more pleasant, I reckon. Alright guys, look at that, ready to go. Alright, I'm gonna have a go at fixing this thing. The issue is this thread's come off, and even when I try and screw it in, it's just not catching at all. So I'm gonna just try and wrap a bit of duct tape around it and hope that, like a bit of plumber's tape, it might help it catch the thread. We'll have to see about this theory. Anything will be better than currently. It's just falling out like every time I pick up the tripod, so it's not very useful for filming, unfortunately. So I'm gonna do it outwards. Just need to try and get it to stick to itself. If it will stop sticking to my bloody fingers. There we go. Little tip for you, so you don't have to bring a whole roll. You can just tape around a stick or something, and that just helps. So yeah, a bit lightweight. All right, let's see if this will grab. Yeah, I don't know, it's helped a little bit, but still quite loose. See how we go. Alright guys, that's about as good of a patch job as I can do with the tools I got currently, so we'll see how that goes. But just chucked the pack back on, gonna do a little bit of extra walking. There's a little side trail you can take out to see what they call the giant tallow wood. So let's go and check it out, see if it's any bigger than the ones we already saw. It'll be pretty impressive if so, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Are you actually kidding? Yeah, okay, I think this one's bigger. The thing is, I don't even think this is the biggest one. I've just came across this thing, and according to my map, there's actually another one a little bit further along. So if that's not the giant tallow wood, I don't know what is. Wow. It's like 4 trunks in one. I can't believe there's a bigger tree than that. Apparently we're in the vicinity of this giant tallow wood. I don't know if it's that fallen one back there. Somewhat of a path here, but it's not very distinct. Could that be it? I think we found it. A towering sentinel. Believed to be at least 1,000 years old, this tallow wood eucalyptus is the largest known specimen on Gari. It has a circumference of 11.5 meters and a diameter of 3.6. Good if you had some climbing gear. Try and climb to the top of this thing. That's a better angle. Slightly bigger than that other one back on the path, I think. Very cool. Well, we're starting to lose the light a little bit. It's about 4 o'clock now, so gonna make our way back to camp, get dinner going. Probably be a pretty early night tonight, I think. It'll get dark pretty early in this valley, so yeah, probably just straight into bed after dinner and wake up fresh for a big day tomorrow. I was talking to the boys up there earlier. They said it was about 22 k's they had to punch out today to get to the next spot, so yeah, it'll be a solid one tomorrow. Probably get up pretty early and just get stuck in. Back on the good old BCC this trip. Let's get it going. Well, what an absolute day. I can't believe how many times I've been here to Gari and I've never set foot inside the Valley of Giants. it's about time I did it. And yeah, today was just really an extraordinary day. I had so much fun exploring that ancient rainforest, looking for the biggest trees I could find. I think, yeah, what better way to finish it off than having a nice meal right in amongst it, listening to the birds right now. But anyway guys, I'm going to leave it there for tonight. I'll catch you bright and early. Looking forward to another beautiful day tomorrow. Morning guys, how are we? Bit of a drizzly old morning this morning. A little bit of light rain last night, but pretty relaxing on the tent really. Woke up to the sound of a million birds this morning, which is pretty epic. Quite misty at the moment. Hopefully it clears up throughout the day, but pretty cool to be deep in the rainforest in the mist right now. Anyway, I'll probably just get a coffee and some tucker going and we'll make some early tracks, I reckon. Let's do the annual milk spill. Breakfast of champs. I'm just mid coffee and mid packing down the tent. The good news is blue skies are back. It's an absolute perler again today, so definitely think we're in for a treat. It's going to be a pretty mixed day, I think. It'll be a lot of rainforest to begin with, and then I think hopefully we're going to punch out onto a bit of like a big sand blow, which is basically like almost like a mini desert or a big sand dune sort of system, where we'll be able to have a feed, stop for lunch, do a bit of exploring, and then yeah, that'll be about halfway. Then we'll continue on and ideally find another one that also has a lake, so that'll be really cool, and then we might try and pull up there for the night. I think should be a cracking day. I think we're looking at about 22 k's or so need to get moving. I think it's about 7 right now. Once this is done, probably 10 more minutes and we'll be out of here. Oh, that's hot. Sometimes you just got to give your bag a bit of CPR. Much better. Alright guys, Valley of the Giants tick. Let's get on to the next one. Walking through the forest here to the sound of the whipbirds, and honestly I was just thinking, these birds are so lucky to live here. This would have to be one of the best little ecosystems that they could have ever found. So lucky birds. I always feel sorry for eastern whipbirds when I like hear them in suburbia and stuff. I'm like, man, you should be out here, not running away from building sites and things like that. It's pretty cool to hear them in their natural habitat where they belong. Alright, we've been smooth sailing all day, but as you might be able to tell, we've hit a huge incline. I've just come from down there. Probably, I don't know how far it goes, further than I can see, so yeah, time to knuckle down. I think it's safe to say we're out of the valley. That climb was a punish, but nearly at a spot for a little sit down. We're going to push onto this sand blow, another 500 meters or so, and then we'll take a well-earned break and a drink. Alright, it looks like we made it, and there is one last big FU to be able to see it, so one more punish. Get our drink, come on. Oh my goodness. That was such a punish. How is this, but oh. Now this is what you think of when you think of Gari. Massive sand dunes all the way down to the ocean, and it is a perler. The surf looks amazing. Be a good day to be out fishing. Let's go check it out. Wow, get a go at this setup. It's like I'm in Namibia or the Sahara. This is crazy. The ocean is so far away. This dunes must just go on and on. I'd love to explore all the way up those big tall ones, but I don't think I've got it in me, unfortunately. That is one of the steepest sand dunes I've seen for a while. Should have brought a bit of cardboard and sent it. Let's go have a look over here. Look at these patterns. So these things obviously form from the wind over thousands of years, and they're constantly shape-shifting and changing. You can see a bit of that in action right here. I wonder how long that shrub's gonna last before it gets eaten. That's very cool. All right, let's go sit down and have a breather. Might be time for a little bit of lunch. Oh. Tell you what guys, lunch views do not come much better than this. Righto team. It's another one ticked off. They've still got quite a few Ks to hit out, so better get back to it, eh? Back into the green stuff. It's a really cool bird. Bright yellow. On the end of that stick. See if we can get a bit closer. Looking at us. I'll have to look up what that thing was. Very pretty little green and gold bird. Awesome. So we are obviously officially out of the Valley of Giants, but there is still some big dogs getting around out here. They're a bit more few and far between, but still some pretty impressive beasts. So I've just punched out onto another four-wheel drive track. You go across a couple of them on this walk here and there that are just cutting across the island. Man, it's been a pretty long slog. I probably haven't been filming a whole lot, so it might not seem like much on the video, but yeah, it's been probably close to 20 Ks today, I reckon. Pretty flat, but yeah, pretty repetitive, so pretty keen to get up to this next spot. I think it's another probably 3 Ks or so we got left to do, so gonna have a quick drink here, and then we'll keep moving. Alright guys, back on the soft stuff. Looks like we're pretty close. Let's do the grand reveal. Come on, show us the money. Wow, it's another huge blow. Get a go at this oasis. I cannot tell you how good that feels. Tough day. Probably one of the bigger days I've actually done in the saddle, I think, with the full loaded pack. Solid. Only one thing left to do, eh? That is glorious. There's this little oasis. Look at this little dude. Man, this is such a good reward after that slog. There's one last thing to do. Something I prepared earlier. Hello. Very hot. No doubt very shaken up. But nonetheless, a deserved reward. Cheers everyone. Tell you what, could get used to this life. Now last time I was here, there was these big catfish just cruising the shallows. And they were real inquisitive. They actually wanted to come and suss you out. So I'm just gonna go for a little trot up here and see if we can find one. No luck up this way. Nice little pocket here. Can you believe this spot? Man, we're so lucky here. For anyone that hasn't been to Gari, now's the time to chuck it on the list. The word Gari actually means paradise, and it's pretty easy to see why they wanted to call it that. I know a lot of people, particularly Australians, who have been used to coming to Fraser Island over all the years. You know, they always complain about the name change, but I think if you understand a bit more about the history of what went on here, it's easier to understand. Obviously, this was an indigenous area for thousands of years before the colonial settlers got here. And yeah, when they did come here, they caused a fair bit of havoc, pretty much cleared them out. The reason it's called Fraser Island is named after a lady called Eliza Fraser, who actually came over to this island. I think she might have been shipwrecked. And anyway, when she got back to the mainland, she made up these lies that the local population here, the indigenous population, had treated her horribly and, you know, done all these atrocities to her, which in return made the white people retaliate, come over, kill a lot of indigenous people. Yet somehow this island is named after her. So I think if you really understand a bit more of the backstory and what the name actually means, it's a lot easier to accept the change. Even myself, I find myself accidentally calling it Fraser Island just purely because I've been coming here since I was born. Every summer my family and I would come here and stay at a house up at Waddy Point, go camping up the Cape. So it's kind of ingrained in me as well, but I'm trying my best to, you know, refer to it by the new name, and I think other people should too, and definitely do a bit more research about what went on here. There's a good book actually, it's called Killing for Country, and it's by David Marr, and it really goes into, you know, all the things that the settlers did as they made their way up the coast from New South Wales, particularly what happened here at Fraser Island as well, with Gari now. So do yourself a favour, give it a read. Anyway, no catfish. Might just sit here and enjoy this thing. Oh, here's one of those catfish. Look at this unit. See if we can bring him in. That is sick. Hey, you want a bit of food, brother? Pretty solid little thing. Should try and catch him, have him for a feed. Oh, you reckon he'll go that? No. Alright, legends, feeling refreshed. Just chuck the pack back on. Just gonna hike up, find somewhere to set up the tent for the night. It's looking nice and clear, so fingers crossed for these stars. Could be a good sunset too. I think this is going to be one very, very special campsite. Sticking my flag in it right here. Elk's outdoors. The best to ever do it. I think this will do us just fine tonight. Let's go. I don't think my tent will ever be the same after this one. There's already enough sand in it from last night, let alone camping right here. Worth it, but. You ever seen a better setup than that? I'm not sure if you guys might have noticed last night if you got an eagle eye, but picked up a new sleeping mat last week. This is the insulated large mat from Alton. And I gotta say, first impressions last night, very impressed. This thing is super comfy. It's a little bit bigger than my last sleeping mat too. So I don't really find my legs rolling off the bottom as much, or my shoulders. And yeah, like a little bit less noisy too, which I like. I had a pretty good sleep last night, so night 2 tonight. Test it out again, eh? That's it blown up. Pretty good. Just in time. And we may as well make the most of this last little bit of sun and have that last G&T, eh? What a day. I'm pretty defeated. My back is like seizing up. Definitely need to do some stretches. I got a little relaxant. This is why we do it. That's why we do it. Such a nice juxtaposition from the rainforest camp of last night. It was cool to be in there, but I really don't like camping when I'm all boxed in. I definitely prefer to be able to, you know, have a look out, watch the sunset, see the stars. Speaking of which, it could be a ripper tonight, I think. I think it's like a quarter moon, not too much cloud, so might try my hand at getting a few star shots if it stays clear. The other good thing is that I haven't seen any dingo tracks up here, which is yeah, reassuring. Haven't seen many tracks at all, the odd bird, but yeah, it's pretty quiet up here, pretty tucked away, very far from the beach. Didn't see any on that walk at all, which is a bit of a shame really. Would have been cool to run into one. Pretty dense in there, so I don't imagine there'd be too much interest for them. They definitely prefer roaming the coastline where you have fishermen giving them scraps and things like that. There's a lot better chances of getting a feed down there. Last bit of sun. Beautiful. Well, what a day, eh? I hope you guys enjoyed that one as much as I did. Really had everything. Feels good to be able to have a swim and a freshen up after a couple of very sweaty days. And it's nice to not have to wear shoes all night too. Very refreshing on the old dogs. Anyway guys, I think I'm probably just going to towel this feed up and then yeah, I might try grab some of those star picks, but either way, I'll see you all in the morning. I was just packing up my bag, putting everything back in the tent, and I turned around, there was a dingo about 5 meters away, just having a little sniff. Thankfully I saw him, he was just a bit curious I think, but it just goes to show you got to keep your wits about you out here. Definitely everything going in the tent with me tonight, you don't want to be leaving anything out. And yeah, just goes to show you never know who might be sniffing around tonight. I don't know if I got much good footage of him there, but yeah, got the heart rate going. See if we can find his tracks. Yeah, here we go. Oh, morning legends. Bit of a brisk old morning this morning. It's a lot colder than it was yesterday. Probably doesn't help being out here, up high, out in the open. Absolute bluebird today. Still no wind at all last night, which was amazing. Plenty of dew around on the tent. We did have one visitor overnight by the looks. It's one set of Will Smiths getting around. Looks like pretty decent size too. He sort of came out of the dunes out the back, wandered down, took a bit of a wide berth around the tent, and then kind of cruised down behind the camera back into the dunes by the looks. So yeah, he didn't give me any troubles. Yeah, pretty cool. Slept pretty well. I was pretty buggered after yesterday, so I was always going to hit it pretty hard, I think. But anyway, the first light's just starting to sort of hit these dunes. We're a little bit protected by these dunes on my left from the direct sunrise. I think it's up now, but yeah, we're kind of looking a little bit more southeast here, so it'll be probably 15 minutes till that sun hits the tent. But for the meantime, it's going to be pretty amazing to watch it roll over these dunes, I think. Time to roll the tape. Starving. I've lost my spoon bud, so I've got to eat brekkie with a fork today. Also, my camera lens is fogging up a bit. It was fogging all morning on the outside, but now it seems like there's a bit of condensation inside, so hopefully this isn't too blurry for you. That was a cracking sunrise, eh? The steam coming off the lake down there. Incredible. See if I can get a bit of this sand out. Actually worked pretty good. Well guys, you know what they say, take only pictures, leave only footprints. This place is as clean as when I got here. Let's get that swim on, eh? As I end my Gari journey wandering these vast windswept dunes, I can't help but feel overcome by the beauty of this land. From the moment I took my first step on the sand, I felt a connection to the millennia of people that had walked here before me. I have to consider how lucky I am to be out here doing this right now, and hope to have done my part to continue her legacy. From the towering monuments of the Valley of Giants to the perched desert lakes of the Sandblows, the rugged beauty and unique wildlife has certainly left a lasting impression on me. Now, it's time to say goodbye to paradise once more. So, until next time, legends, how are ya?